Hello and welcome. I'm Master Lama Raji, and this is our Monday edition of Raji Speak. So happy that you can stop by. I hope you enjoyed the celebration of Cinco de Mayo yesterday on the 5th, and we're happy that you could join us today. Let's look at our subject matter. Before I get into today's lesson, remind yourself that 1 o'clock Eastern time today, Master David Paul is conducting his music class. So check that out. You'll like it. Today, Beyond Time is the title based on Annalee Skarin's Wisdom on Eternity and Existence. All right, let's look a little bit about Miss Annaline Scaring. Born Annalee Copliff, July the 7th, 1899. Check out that date, 1899, 218. It's very, very interesting birthright. In 1948, she wrote her most popular book called Ye Are Gods, based on King David's Psalms. Ye are God. As has been said of time gone by, ye were gods, right? Be still and know. She grew up in the Mormon church early on, was very controversial. They excommunicated her several years, and her daughter, Hope Hilton, was very instrumental in the excommunication and was in total denial of her mom going through Transfiguration in the 1950s, actually in front of 2 to 3 dozen people. And 4 to 5 years later, her husband, Rizzo, did the same thing. You know, us guys, sometimes we take a little longer, right? So very interesting, but her child was one of her child's, her son, I take it, had what was considered like scarlet fever, and she was taking him everywhere that she knew. She also was having portals or her chakras open up. She didn't understand it because she wasn't trained from a mystical side, nor was she part of the city yoga lineage like we are. So she really didn't understand the feelings of energy in her hands and in her solar plex. She began to fast and pray, took Jesus literally as praying without ceasing. And she also took literally what happened to Saul on the way to Damascus, who became Paul. And she knew through the Acts of the apostles and believed that with all of her heart that all of us were apostles of Christ and were commanded by Christ in his spirit to go forth and heal and speak in tongues and raise the dead and everything. She got to the point where she was in desperation one night and wasn't so much a constant fasting as she was just forgetting to eat and just would do anything for this child to leave. She loved both her children, right? And in the concept of that, the 4D and 5D just opened up very much like behind me. And there was a stairwell to heaven out one of her walls. Jesus comes walking down that stairwell and he Shakti pots the you know what out of her and he hits her right in the solar plex. Lamaji had that experience on my third trip to India when a holy man by the name of Dehindra Baba, that people said he was 400 to 600 years old in his body, wished me long life, and he pushed the Shakti pot 100 feet from where he was and hit Lamaji right in the belly, and I wasn't the same after that. And that's been several decades ago. It was toward the latter 1980s, right after my buddy Jim Gore had passed. But she took all of Jesus's teachings and she realized something, and she was vibrating. And people would say, even in her satsang class, that from time to time she would completely almost disappear. And they knew it was just a matter of time, the ones closest to her, that she was going to go. And she said, the death is the dreary back door to the other side, but that there is a door of glory for those who overcome. And that door swings both ways, the portal, right? So she eventually got so caught up in the energy that she literally had the transfiguration experience. And when it initially happened, you can read through her first book, Ye Are Gods. She wrote 6 or 7 more afterwards, supposedly royalty free. I mean, if you can come and go like the wind, what is the need of, I guess, economics, right? The point being is, halfway through Ye Are Gods, you can tell it looks completely like 2 different individuals writing the book. It flows totally different the second half of her book. And that's supposed to have happened after she had that enlightening experience. But she tuned into that purity ray that Mother Mary tuned into, that Lamaji talks a lot about. Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Annaline Skarin, a lot of strong women that are connected to that, and that transforms them, transfigures them, like powerful. And it leads them into the purity of Abba and of the divine. And with a man, it makes him yield to that energy, that he takes a knee, just like a knight before a queen, but, Queen of Heaven. So it's very beautiful to know that, we're talking, the 50s. So we're not talking that long ago. We're not talking 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, Boganathar, 2,000 years ago, Jesus. We're talking not even 100 years ago that this happened in front of 20 to 30 people. It's pretty profound. There was one individual from Paducah, Kentucky, that was having a similar experience, a male having a similar experience, that was showing up, and similar things were happening with him. And if you're familiar with Baird Spalding's The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, where they were able to produce staples right out of the ethers, he was doing the same thing. And his wife was all caught up still with the activity of the day. And one day he says, sweetheart, I'm producing stuff and you're cooking. He said, I could produce the finished product. And she goes, no. If you did that, what would I do? What would I do? Shows you the programming of human beings and how we're so caught up in the personality of who we think we are, and in the task of what we've been taught to do from the time we were knee-high to a grasshopper, right? Programming. What I love about prayer beads, they teach you how to do your own programming, how to reprogram. And in most cases, most of us need a lobotomy. We really do. Because we've been programmed to be such a mess, right? So when we're on this path and we're coming to the circle at chi.com, practicing our Tai Chi Gong exercise, our breathing, our meditation, our prayers, all of our siddhanas, the right to practice, it becomes evidence that your vibrations get raised. And man, that's happening. So this week we're taking off to Tucson toward the end of the week, and looking forward to seeing all you guys there. And big hugs and big shouts to everyone, especially Judith and Tom for helping Lynette and me put this together for you guys, and raise everybody's vibration. It's going to be interesting to see, especially be interesting to see what's going to happen on Saturday, the live streaming. So we got a few seats left for that. Don't hesitate if the Holy Spirit is guiding you to do that. All the tickets are sold out now for Tucson, and just starting to pre-sell some Grand Rapids tickets for those that know they want to be there, and especially if they live around that area and haven't been to a function before, but also the ones traveling internationally. So get with Lynette and she'll take care of you. And God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone real soon. Baraka B'Shai, may the blessings be to you and your glorious family. I'll see you bright and early Tuesday tomorrow. Don't be late now.